So I was just wondering how you feel like this exhibition resonates with you, because when I'd met you the other day and you came in and said, oh, I can't believe something like this is on, like, care leavers don't really get a lot of, not recognition, but it's not really spoken about, it's quite taboo, isn't it? Like, people keep their care status to themselves a lot of the time. So how do you feel like it's resonated with you?
I don't even know where to begin. There was a lot of different things that I could both relate to in a painful way, as well as in a way that could be celebrated. There were some photos, especially the one, I mean, I can just point to it, the one about the I think it's about mostly children in the care system that go missing but aren't really missed, and I couldn't really relate to that because I never ran away from home or anything, but I do know that a lot of people would run away from home just to, maybe because where they are staying is falling apart, or maybe because they just want to go back to their family.
Yeah.
And it really makes you think. I mean, it definitely makes me think, because a lot of children that are in care, whether they play up in school or not, there is a lot going on with them, and then some of them would end up running away or bunking off school or stuff like that, because there's a lot of underlying issues going on which isn't really talked about.
Do you think, when we say missing child, we've been speaking about not just missing maybe from home, maybe missing from education, missing from being able to get housing opportunities and things like that. Do you feel like there's anything for you as a care leaver? Do you feel like anything's missing for you? Or that you're missing from something that you probably could have had if you wasn't in care?
There's quite a lot. I mean, for me, I've been a bit on and off with it, but I have been active in like a lot of care experience related stuff anyway. So if I wasn't there to speak up about it, I was there to listen to any differences that could be made to the foster care system in Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
So that was something that I really enjoyed doing, because it felt like I was part of something quite big. I mean, I am. But in terms of like what's missing from me, I mean, this isn't just like a care experience issue. It's more of like a nationwide issue. But it would mostly be more mental health support.
Yeah.
Because for me, growing up, my personal experience was that it was usually the kids who played up, who were misbehaving and stuff like that, who got a lot more help. I mean, obviously it wasn't good help at first because they saw it as bad behaviour. But for me, although they were punished a lot, which isn't a good thing, in the end, from what I've seen, they got the help somehow. Whereas like I was really reserved. I conformed to a lot of rules and stuff.
Yeah.
I was scared of being in trouble, and I'm still like fighting to get help for myself in terms of mental health, and it's at the point now where I've kind of given up on it because it's just going around in circles. Because
you feel like because you're not behaving badly, people don't see as you having an issue. Yeah. I'd find that at school, like if people were misbehaving in class and stuff like that, and there were regular class clowns, effectively, they'd get taken out to go and do something for the day, and you'd have to stay back and do this. So,
like, I'm not saying that like I was a good kid, so I deserve everything. It was more of, I understand that if people did act up in school, and I don't think that they should have just been punished for it and left alone. I think that they should have gotten help from an early age and stuff like that. And, but as well, because I was quiet, a lot of people just assumed that I didn't need help when I did, and it showed a lot in my behaviour. But a lot of people just saw my behaviour as weird, like, oh, you're being a little bit weird, you're being a little bit immature.
Yeah, not realising it was like a call out. Yeah. What do you think? I mean, for me, I struggled with a sense of like, who am I really? When I was in care, I was trying to find my group of people. Do you think you've struggled with that at all?
Yeah.
Trying to find where you fit in society? I
never had one friendship group, I had multiple.
Yeah.
And even then it kind of felt like I was a bit left out here and there, because I never had like a certain solid friendship group.
Yeah, you just kind of bounce between people.
And for me, because I I could probably count on one hand the amount of years I've been loved and like nurtured and stuff like that. I never really had that growing up, and now as an adult, I never really did. But the one thing that I personally felt that I was good at was making friends. So I kind of used that as like a comfort thing. So I'd make friends and then I would try and like be nice and treat people good, because I know how it feels to not be treated nice, and I wouldn't want to do that to other people. But I understand that there are a lot of people who would treat people badly because that's how they were treated, and that's pretty much all they know.
Yeah, that's like one of them things that say hurt people, isn't it?
Yeah. And I personally think that no matter how you behave, no matter how you were and stuff like that, if you are going through like a bad time, especially as a kid, or like for no matter what reason, I think that we should all be treated the same, and I think that we should all get the same amount of help.
What sort of things do you wish to see more of for the future children that are in care?
I wish that we weren't treated as disposable, if you know what I mean. Especially, for children in care, like, I wish that they were treated just like regular children as well. Well, yeah, I can't talk.
It feels institutionalised, doesn't it? It feels you're put there and it's like a bit prison, like you've been put there because you're bad, not because of your experiences. When I was in care, my foster carers used to lock the living room door, they'd lock the kitchen door and everything when they went out. So it felt it wasn't home, because in a normal house you'd just go sit down and watch TV, but you couldn't even just go and grab a snack or something. So I think I'd like to see more family-based homes that actually make you feel like part of the family.
I didn't want to live in like a home setting. I didn't quite know why, but I wanted to live in a residential care home because it felt like, at the time I didn't know, but now I do. It felt like in most residential homes you have multiple different members of staff to speak to instead of the same people. True. And I remember I wasn't told it direct, but I remember being told something along the lines of like residential homes are for children in care who don't behave. Yeah. And I thought that was true until one time I was somewhere with a bunch of like care leavers and like people who were still in foster care, and I remember saying that, and I remember offending quite a few people, and turns out it wasn't true. Okay, so like people who'd prefer that setting or would work better in a residential home than being with a family, because that can trigger people as well, can't it? Yeah. Being in a family, they're a bit like, I remember going on holiday with my foster carers and their grandkids, and I felt really like why am I here with you guys? I had very strict foster parents, and I think that was why I would always go into my room and never really be around them, no matter how much they would lecture me about being around people. I was always in my room because that's where I felt the safest. Yeah.